Gretchen actually tried to convince us that she didn't come back at trying to take Tamra down. She just brought 12 to 15 years worth of archives.
You know what just is playing through my head is that gif of Kyle Richards from season 1. You're such a fucking liar, Camille. Both Gretchen and Tamra have been looking for any excuse, any reason to break a truce, because they both bring up old stuff. They do it in different ways. They have different tactics, but they both do the same thing. And they do it to each other right now, but they also can do it to other people too. It's just that right now, like it's the two of them or it's Tamra to Shannon.
Yeah.
Gretchen doesn't necessarily have another target, although Katie's kind of one.
We gonna stir it up and do things our way. So if you wanna move, get out of our way.
Hey.
Ahoy, everybody.
I don't know why I'm waving like I have a yacht. For some reason, I felt like that was...
Might as well. I mean, we are on YouTube, so wave to the audience.
Wave to the audience. Just want to give a quick shout out. See that way? Very pageanty. The Queen of Versailles opened on Broadway last night, starring Kristen Chenoweth, and guess who else is in it? Andy Cohen.
Andy Cohen. Yeah, there you go. Housewives are everywhere. Housewives. Oh my gosh, I saw on TikTok in the new Netflix documentary about Eileen Wuornos, the female serial killer. It says in there that she mentions her attorney, and her attorney at the very beginning of her killing people spree or getting caught was Russell Armstrong. The Russell Armstrong. Yes. And I had to even look Wikipedia. The Russell Armstrong was an attorney in Florida, and he'd actually already he was interviewed before about Eileen Wuornos.
Wow. Yeah. Russell.
All roads lead to Bravo, man. Truly. So there you go.
Yeah, can't escape it. You can't escape it. Even I was thinking about even Broadway people who are very, especially Broadway people, they take the craft very seriously, more so than say they're like, oh, I only go to LA to do TV because it pays the bills. I hear that a lot. And then of course there are the TV and movie people, actors are like, ugh, reality TV. Guess what? Everywhere. Affecting you guys.
It's
all
everywhere.
Over.
Look, it's in politics. Think back to Real Housewives of DC, Michelle Salahi, crashing that state dinner. Where did they walk in through? The East Wing of the White House. What's been torn down? The East Wing of the. I mean, look, all roads lead to Bravo. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I could find anything. You could put a suggestion in the comments of some random topic, and I will find a way. It's like Kevin Bacon. It's 6 degrees of separation. It is 6 degrees of Bravo. Everything leads back to it.
And because the Salahis triggered a congressional hearing, Housewives are forever in the historical record.
Forever and ever. Well, I mean, we'll see.
They'll be uncovering hieroglyphics 5,000 years from now, and Michaela Salahi #RHODC.
Yeah. It's in ye old parchments.
But what we're here for specifically today is the one that started it all. Orange County Part 1, the season 19 reunion.
I mean, and I think the theme of this reunion, of this episode of the reunion, which kind of goes into really this entire season, has been, it's about history. Basically, let's bring up old history and try to use it against people. And it goes every which way. I mean, but mainly between two people.
Yeah.
Tamra and Katie. No, well, actually, between three people. Tamra, Katie, and Gretchen. Yeah. Those are the three people who tend to bring up old stuff and then throw it back at each other. So, yeah.
First, I think we should begin with this. It's hard to break down. I like... in the episodes, you know, you could do scene by scene, but in a
Yeah.
reunion, it's more of a free flowing convo, which my own ADHD brain, like, I'm like, what? So I think we should start with the seating arrangement,
I
seating
think that's a good idea.
order.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, let's begin. Tamra first chair. Now I'm questioning Jenn Pedranti first chair. Where did that come from?
I find it very weak. Like, also, and I'm going to say something. This is not me commenting on a woman's appearance, but it is me commenting on her makeup choice. Why does she have blush on the underneath of her nose? Like,
Jen?
Jen. She's
I
got this
was
blush
I
underneath
was
her nose.
wondering I was like, something's wrong with the nose to mouth
Yeah.
upper.
There might be more stuff going on there, but the thing that is bothering me is that, look, I put a little highlight on the end of my nose, and like everybody does like some contouring and shading or whatever. But you're supposed to put a little bit of blush if you do it like on top of your nose, not on the underside of your nose. I'm like, it's bothering the shit out of me. I don't know who told you to do. I don't know why your makeup artist did that to you, Jen, but they're doing you a disservice because it's incredibly distracting to some of us. I'm sure not all of us, but some of us. But that is just me commenting on her makeup placement, not her looks. So
You can comment on everything. They sell themselves to the audience. That's my motto. That is my thing. You are the product. You are paid for us to criticize you.
That's such a man thing to say. Such a man thing to say. And a capitalist. But I think she's incredibly weak being first. I don't understand why she's
That's like
first
a lamb to the slaughter. I mean, I do say, I was thinking about, well, who could it have been? So let's just go down that couch now. So on that couch, you have Jenn Pedranti, Emily, and Shannon Beador. Shannon Beador, let's not forget his last seat after last year being I called her Bravo's DUI darling, Bravo's DUI sweetheart. I mean, she was first chair. She was top tier. America was rooting for her. They built her up. She thought she owned the show. She thought she could ice people out. So she ran it, kicked back down to the last seat this year. And you could see it. You could see how, like, I was trying to imagine when she came out and saw the seating arrangement, and she was probably mumbling to herself as she's adjusts her tea party dress, her tea length skirt. Like, no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. I'm fine with this. No, everything's. I'm happy. No,
I'm fine. I'm fine. But at the same time, though, it does make me wonder, because I look at that couch and I go, I don't feel that Jenn or Emily should be first. I almost feel like Shannon should be, because at least on the first half of the season, Shannon was giving Tamra and Katie more shit. Like, she was working it pretty hard. The second half of the season, it was more like fun, goofy Shannon, if that makes sense. So she has more to say, but it's like, I don't know. They do what unless there's going to be some more stuff brought out about Jen, but I just really can't see that happening.
Yeah. And then they bring in Gretchen at the end. But Gretchen is a friend of. So the friend of. Could you imagine if they told Shannon to scoot down to make room for Gretchen?
Oh, yeah. That would not work.
I'm not rooting for that, by the way, but I'm just like, and then what do we have on the other side? We have
Tamra, Gina, Heather. Heather's pretty far down, and then Katie.
Yeah.
I mean, Katie's in that last spot, we know. I mean, at least she's on the couch from the beginning. At least they're not making her come in later like as if she was a friend of. I mean, I think that's good. Since they pushed her out halfway through the season, at least she gets to be on the couch the entire time. So that's good.
I heard that she'll be in all three parts.
Good.
That's what I read somewhere. That's not inside info. That's like something I was scrolling. I don't know if it's true yet, but they did bring her out, give her a seat on the couch. Remember when they used to do things like make the friend of pull up a chair? I think they did that to like Danielle Staub once. Or was it Brandy? They made her pull up a chair at the end of the couch. Although for Danielle, it may have been a security issue because
That could have been.
I may be
Yeah,
mixing them up, but there was one. It was so degrading. She was like basically half off stage. I would have, but
Yeah.
so where should
Yeah.
should we circle
I'm
back
just
to the ladies or no?
yeah. Look, Tamra like starts off saying that she won't be quitting today. She's like, but the day is young. And I was like, but she came in hot and defensive. Like
Mhm.
and was just almost like a cornered dog that I don't feel sorry for. If that
Mm.
makes sense. Like sometimes there's a dog that's cornered and you're like, oh, I feel sorry for this puppy. And like, no, I don't feel sorry for this cornered dog. But she's not even cornered. Like she just thinks she's cornered. It's like the Eight of Swords and the Tarot, if anybody like is woo-woo like me. I do like it though that like the whole thing about her therapy comes up, but Andy's is like, I don't feel like you're any different. She's like, really? And he's like, no. Like, rarely do I see Andy. Maybe he's starting to get more of a spine with these women. I don't know, but like that was the first time I've seen him like truly call out Tamra and just be like, I didn't think you were different at all. Like twice this episode he did it. So this is the first time. The second time
I wonder if he had to deal with calls throughout the season, late at night, whatever time zone they were in. Like Tamra quit again. So he's probably like, Ben and Lucy were late to school the next morning. I was talking her down. Like, I don't know.
He's like, look, I just got the kids to bed. I just got up on Grindr, and are you really just gonna like message me this shit now? No, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah. So it kicks off basically. They did it kind of organize its segment. The segments were by housewife, so each one got her grilling. So the first one was Tamra, where we saw that. And something Shannon said I was dying at, because Shannon kicks off and you see Shannon constantly. Shannon's coming from a place of weakness. It's killing her that she's at the bottom, and that at the end, and she's trying to interject. She's fighting for her life here. She needs this orange. She needs this Bravo paycheck. So anytime Tamra comes up, she just like, which I was dying when Tamra would like snap her fingers. Shut up down there.
This is the thing though. Like, I think you and I see it a little differently. She definitely like, I do think that she feels put down a peg by being last on the couch. I don't doubt that, and she does need this paycheck. Like she needs the Orange County paycheck, but I don't think she's that worried about losing her spot. Cause I think she like Tamra knows how to play the game of a housewife and knows how to like kind of keep the audience, like some of the audience on your side and not alienate the entire cast. And she's done that. Like she has not alienated the entire cast. She like kind of turned things around. She wasn't trying to pit herself necessarily against Tamra all season. Like she's like, I'm going to go along to get along. And I think it's just the things that like the problems that she has had with Tamra, that she just was like, I'm not going to deal with these during the season. Well, if Tamra's going to bring them up, then I'm going to fucking take her. I'm going to talk about them now. But Tamra is got her machine gun out and is like, I'm going to mow all you bitches down. I don't care.
Well,
and
Tamra
she knows that she is stronger. Yeah. She was, exactly. And so she feels that she is stronger than Shannon. And I think Shannon doesn't feel necessarily weak, but I feel that she feels that. I do think that Tamra feels that she's stronger than her.
Yeah,
so
I think Shannon
that's not what she expected.
I think Shannon, though, feels threatened. Like I said if you're just like a mid-grade, like Gina or Emily, to be at the end from the middle, but coming off last year's high where she was like getting magazine covers and her journey was like, we were all invested. She was given kind of like the worst seat in the house. So that's why I think she's trying to keep herself in the conversation. She kept butting in, and that's when Tamra was dismissing her, which was like the highlight of this episode.
No, see, I see you and I are going to completely disagree on that. I just feel like Tamra butting in is just that Tamra like needs to make her.
No,
Tamra
Shannon
has
was
to be the
in.
loudest one.
No, Shannon was butting in.
I feel like Shannon was saying like what she wanted. Tamra just wanted to drive the conversation one way. And Shannon was like, no, we're going to talk about this.
No,
And
there
then
were times
back and
when
forth.
Shannon wasn't part of even the topic, and she'd be like, "Well, Tamra, how I feel," and that's why Tamra kept dismissing
Well,
her.
yeah, yes, I get that. I'm going to dismiss you on that. Yes, I get that. But I'm just talking
How
like
much
in
is Shannon
general.
paying? No, I'm joking.
Told you guys, she is my
What are
sorority sister.
the-
But also, I'm going to say this: like Shannon and Heather also have those side Bravo deals, like where they're doing these little like Mrs. Meyers and like Clorox ads and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that with the other Bravo celebrities. Like Tamra doesn't have that. I'm not saying that Tamra's weak, but I'm just saying I don't feel that Shannon is as weak. I think Shannon knows that she has other things other than a
to
seat
fall
on a
back
couch. Yes. Well, no, not
I
necessarily that she. I think she knows that she is more comfortable, that she is more secure in having that orange than other people think she is.
We'll see.
I think she has that. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
we know Katie's out. Katie's going to be out. I'm sorry. Katie's not coming back, which I think is sad, but that's not going to happen. Gretchen, I have no idea what's going to happen, but
who do you
I think
think
Shannon is still in.
the one from the group that I think they should cut if they want to make room for the 20th season, even bring back a few OGs. The big hint going around is that Vicky and Tamra are prepping us for Vicky. They released that ad. They did an ad together for like a coffee thing, like where the whole storyline is that they're finally back together. But I would say I don't think Emily brings what her paycheck is. I don't think Emily earns her paycheck. I think if they had to cut dead weight, it used to be Emily and Gina when they were paired, when they were truly. But I think I'm not a big Gina fan, but I think she works a little harder and plays more of a role moving the show along. I think if one of them
because Gina needs the paycheck more.
Right. Yeah, she's open about it. Did you catch that when Emily was like, real estate, a lot of schlepping? She's like, I'm glad to schlep. Like,
Yep.
That's who I would, I mean, I don't know. It boggles my mind that Emily's been around this long. We've been saying this for
Honestly,
like 5 years. She's back.
Also, the same for Jenn Pedranti. I think she should go too. I don't think she brings anything new.
Right.
Bring back Vicky. Bring back Vicky for a season. And I don't know who else I would want to bring back. I would I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Gretchen. I don't like Gretchen personally, but also and it's like I'm tired of the fighting with Tamra, but at the same time I enjoy the way that she makes Tamra squirm. If that makes sense. Like, because I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
yeah. But something
I could
that
completely do without Jenn Pedranti.
Oh, I've been thinking about this for like 2 nights with how Shannon kicked it off. Because a lot of this, especially in the beginning, is Shannon versus Tamra, and Shannon makes a valid point. I just don't think she made the best comparison where with Tamra and her quitting and her meltdowns and all this season. And she said, I'm going through a lot with Teddy's cancer and things like that. And Shannon butts in and says, where was this grace for me when I was going through the hardest year of my life last year? And I was like, I would not compare someone having cancer to you driving drunk into the side of the house.
I agree. I was like, I get what you're saying. Like, I get what you're saying, Shannon. But yeah, like, nah.
Yeah, exactly. I understood what she meant, but I was like, the way it was phrased, I was like, no, don't go there. Let's not talk about last year. Let's not talk about.
There's a few arguments where people bring things up, and I'm like, you're not gonna win this one. I don't think. Like, yeah. I mean, it is interesting too, but like, but Jenn does also call Tamra out, kind of in the way of on the piggybacking off of Shannon of saying like, look, but you're just saying like, we're not allowed to have hard conversations with you because of Teddy, but you're allowed to have hard conversations with us no matter what. Like, because, you're having a hard time. It doesn't matter if we're having a hard time or not. Like, you're still going to go after us. So like Jenn, but I loved it when Shannon did call her Tamra Grudge. That just flew out of her mouth. I don't know if she I don't think when we met her at that Kathy Hilton party, like, she said, I was like, do you ever rehearse those lines? And she's like, no. She's like, I can't remember them. She was like, I'm just better if I just like say what's on my mind. And I was like, there you go. That's an Aries for you. So. Oh yeah. But then of course, like what is it? Katie, there's that whole thing of like that accusation that Alexis said that Shannon wanted to ice Tamra out. And Shannon's like, no. I'm like, maybe you did.
I think that's why I keep talking about the place of power. She thought she had the clout. She really thought she had like the clout to do something like that. Yeah.
I do find it interesting that Katie said, though, that Shannon called production and said, I feel unsafe around Katie. I want Gretchen to have her orange. I want Katie out. And was like, Jenn, like, right, you told me that. And then Jen's like, wait, what? Like, it's another like Jenn and the deer in the headlights moment of like, not. And now I'm just like, well, was this really said or not? And then Alex Baskin says in the ear, it's like, no, I never had that conversation with Shannon. And I don't know. Like, this is the thing. I could see Shannon making that phone call. Like,
but
then at the same time,
well, we know
I could also
we know from over the years, I don't know about producers, but her cast members get those late night calls. Which has been, I don't know about her calling Alex, but and then of course there was the Love Hotel thing. So
yeah.
I mean, I could see her saying it, but maybe not in like a business meeting way, just like being pissed off. I mean, like, get her off the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, I don't want to interact with her. I don't want her on the show anymore. I don't want to have to deal with her. Which, I mean, honestly, who hasn't said that about a coworker at some point? Like, I don't want to fucking deal with them anymore. Like, I don't want them here. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, I don't know. So
I don't think she like called a a business meeting. I'm sure they all say they want each other off at some point.
Also, I think the thing is though too is that in a sense, most of these women, especially on Orange County, know. Look, if Vicki Gunvalson can't get production to do what she says, and gets thrown off the show, why the fuck would they be able to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so that's why I don't think that Shannon would have that conversation, would call up Alex Baskin and think that she could do that. Because if Vicki Gunvalson can't get that done, then no, ain't nobody going to get that done. She might have said it to her producer, like, I really don't want to have to deal with Katie again next year. I could see that. But like, that's a completely different conversation than what Alexis is saying and what Katie is saying. So anyway.
What else do we have? I still have mixed feelings. Well, we're still in this one. I still have mixed feelings because I see both sides of Tamra and Shannon over the alcoholic comment about Shannon's dad. I absolutely think if I was Shannon, I would be upset. But I do see, I did not remember that. But obviously Tamra, like you were saying, has Tamra, Gretchen, and Katie, they have minds for days. They're like photograph. Anyways, memories for days. Season 15, she did say she grew up in an alcoholic. Shannon did tell Bronwyn. They rolled the clip that she grew up in a home with alcoholics, and so it was out there. But I wouldn't have taken it well if I was Shannon. So I get it.
Yeah.
But for an audience member, I'm like, well, yeah, fair game. But
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it's the whole thing of like she said she grew up in a family where there was alcoholism. So she went to Al. So she didn't say who in her family was an alcoholic.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? She doesn't say that explicitly. So it was basically like, look, I didn't give you permission to out this person
Mhm.
as an alcoholic. That's one thing to talk about, like, yeah, da 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 da. But the fact that you did that, and that is
Yeah, I
like,
think
so
it's
I
the
get that.
singling him out. She could have said in your
That's what it was.
family. I think
Hmm.
yeah, I do. I was like, yeah, that's that
I
part.
also
I,
think
so
this too is that her father's in his 90s now. She knows that she doesn't have much time with him. Obviously,
mhm.
like they've rebuilt whatever they needed to about their relationship. I did forget, like there were several episodes ago I was like, have we ever seen her mother? And then I was like, oh yes, I had to go back. I had to look it up. We have
Mhm.
seen her mother before. Her mother was in episodes back when Shan was getting divorced from David. So, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. I was like, okay, yeah. So we have seen her mother. So,
I
there's
I think her dad lives in like the Newport area. I
mhm,
believe her mom lives out in Franklin, Tennessee, like that part of Nashville where all the
mm, the
like
rich
all
part of
the
Nashville.
yeah, the nice part with her sister. I don't know if they live
Okay.
together. But so I mean, I think that's why we see more of
Mhm.
Jean the Machine than the former
Mhm.
Mrs. Storms, but Mother Storms.
Yeah.
I don't know her
Mother
name.
Storms.
But
Mother Storms.
like on IG I see and they seem like very close. Like she goes and
Yeah.
visits and all that. So if
Yeah.
Shannon's smart, we were just joking about how she needs a Bravo paycheck. I'm just saying, locking down Jean, her relationship with Jean, the advances in age, seems to have been a very successful man. I'm just saying it's smart for her. Something at some point she's gonna flip off the Bravo cameras and be like, I don't need this anymore.
Oh my gosh. Oh
I
my
won't
gosh. Okay.
elaborate. Just if you
If
know
you
my
know Jordan
mind.
well, you know what he's saying.
Get it while you can, Shannon.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, and then when Tamra apologizes for that, well, and I'm going to say the word apologizes very loosely because she says, "Well, I'm sorry," but she goes, "Well, I'm sorry." I was like, "Well, that's so heartfelt." Mm, can feel the love. Okay, that's kind of like Tamara's entire thing is like, "Well, I'm sorry. Well, I da 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 da. I went da 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 da," and I was just like, "Girl, I kind of wanted to like you during this reunion, but I already don't. Like, it's going to be really hard for me to say again that you were a great housewife when you're just being such an asshole this entire episode to everybody, even the people who are trying to help you. Like, oh my gosh."
so
Okay,
from
the
there,
Katie
what did it
package.
move? Yeah, I was gonna say the Katie was next.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This was interesting, and this is where I was like, yeah, when Tamara catches Shannon once again, even
Mm-hmm.
though we're in the Katie segment, because we're the Katie story stems. Or, by the way, I want to start this off by saying, do you catch the glances that Tamara gives Katie when Katie's defending
Yeah.
herself? They're like a little maternal. She's very proud. She's like,
Well, they have teamed up. They have teamed up together. They are friends now again, and also like they hosted a watch party this past week for the
mm-hmm,
part one of the reunion together. So I was like, oh, okay. Alrighty then. So I guess Katie's trying to take tips from Tamara in order to maybe stay on. So,
yeah. I mean, Katie could honestly use a little Tamara in her, a little Tamara coaching, because one of the big knocks against her as a housewife, storylines aside, is that she's a confessional warrior and that she's
right.
not confrontational and she kind of shuts down. Whereas we know Tamara is the polar opposite.
Yeah. Exactly. In fact,
So,
she's like nicer in her confessionals half the time than she is in person.
yeah.
Well, and they brought that up
So,
about Katie. They're like, you're tougher in your confessionals than to their faces. And it's just like, yeah,
mhm.
right. That's right. It's like, well, yeah.
Did you catch Emily getting offended by that? What? Because Tamra says, "Well, she's not the only one," and Emily knew. What do they say? A hit dog hollers.
Yeah,
Tamra
hit dog gonna holler. Hit dog gonna holler.
Tamra just says she's not the only one, and Emily gets so like kind of aggressive. She's like, "What is that supposed to mean?"
I know.
She knew.
Yep.
She knew exactly.
She knew.
And that tells you she knows what she's doing. She is a confessional warrior.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, it was almost exactly like Lisa Barlow on the yacht on Salt Lake when it was like brought up about somebody's leaking stories about Bronwyn, and it's like, who would do that? I wouldn't do that. There's immediately Lisa Barlow was like, who would do that? It was like, nobody said you, Lisa, but obviously.
Yeah.
Well, and the interesting that, because Tamra kept saying that, because Shannon was upset about, Shannon admits to kind of overreacting. She admits a little bit to kind of overreacting to Katie, finding out that Katie recorded her. But then Tamra brings up again, well, you've recorded people, Shannon. And so we get the story about what is this recording? So Shannon says it was a recording of Vicky, and she said, and her husband, but I have to assume it's actually boyfriend.
Yeah, when I watched later, was it later or was it in a video? It kind of corrects itself. I think Shannon misspoke because I was like, "Are you you didn't know Don Gunvalson?" Like I was thinking, exactly. What husband? Or is it has she secretly married and that was like a slip of the tongue? She's been engaged or. No, but then like when they refer to it again, I think maybe Tamra says you recorded her and her boyfriend. So,
well, then she said it was like, well, then you were calling me saying I can't believe anybody would be with Vicky. She's so horrible to her boyfriends. And that was the thing. So I was like, okay, it must be. I was like, which boyfriend it is, I'm not sure, but I guess it was something where
justice for Dawn.
Justice for Dawn. Always justice for Dawn. But he knows she messed up.
She still talks about it in those interviews. She'll be like, her one mistake. Oh, but wait, before we get sidetracked on Vicky, is what I was dying over in that. It's Shannon suddenly shuts down. It's like, I don't want to discuss that. It would be hurtful.
Right.
That part. That's what I mean. She suddenly, and I was watching the look on her face, like she was just like, you bitch. Like they were going like tit for tat. Like
this is why, like, sorry, sometimes you don't want to become best friends with your coworkers because they will use that shit against you. So.
I think I caught after that when they kind of settled it, and it was just like, okay. And Shannon explains I did it because it sounded like she thought maybe there was some kind of like DV domestic situation. Yeah. I was trying to find the right TikTok kind of word, I know, and or abbreviation. But so they kind of, but then you see Shannon kind of look off camera and just like kind of like going like, God damn it. Like it was kind of funny, like kind of comical. She's just like, got me again. Like, and then they move
funny
on.
Facial expressions, yeah. Well, okay, so the whole Katie package, they bring up the last year because again, it's like bringing up past stuff, because it was about the whole like bringing up the kids thing and bringing up when Emily brought up Katie's custody arrangement at the reunion last year, and Emily's trying to explain this. And this was one of those times I was like, Emily, you're not going to win this argument for whatever reason. Like, you should just apologize and say, I am sorry and done. Just like Heather did last year. It was just apologize for it. Don't try to say like why you're trying to explain it or no. This is one that you're not going to win. Just apologize. And especially in the court of public opinion. But then also Emily says that she feels that Katie uses podcasters, bloggers, content creators, etc., to fight her battles for her. And it was like, well, Emily, as we have been shown this week, so do you. In fact, like all of y'all do. All of y'all do. That's the thing, is that only some of y'all have gotten caught and now all of y'all are being exposed. You all do.
Yeah, who I don't know the account. I'm not familiar with them, but they released Emily's DMs this week. Sadly, after the reunion film,
I know.
but Emily too has been in contact. That phrase is so dated, but the bloggers, she's
Yeah.
been planting stories, complaining about the housewives, her coworkers to
Mm-hmm.
fans, and so
Mm-hmm.
why do
I
they
mean,
do this in writing, by the way? I just
right, right. Well, because look, people are weird and freaky. You don't really want to meet them in person.
no, no, no. I just even mean a phone call. I just even mean a phone call. Like writing, like do these housewives, the ones who taught us the word receipts, who do do they not understand what they're doing like that?
Maybe we now know why Emily is a real housewife as opposed to a lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look, if her attorneying career is as successful as her housewifing career, well, then we know why.
Yeah. She is.
That might be the meanest thing I've ever said about Emily. Shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, she did. I just feel like I'm just taking a bet. It's I mean, but I've said it for years. I think a lot of people hope it's her last season. I don't even hate her. This is the issue. After all these years, I don't feel strongly about her.
Yeah.
She's had a solid run, longer than many of the greats.
Mm-hmm.
Like many of the great, it's crazy. Like when you look back, Brandy Glanville actually was only a full-time housewife for like maybe three. Then she was a friend of
3 years.
first. Then, so I'm saying, and she's like somewhere, you have these housewives who love them or hate them, iconic. Emily has
Yeah.
had twice as long on the show. There's nothing iconic about her. I was watching all season. I think maybe she ordered an espresso martini once, maybe twice. There was no
Mm-hmm.
fuss about it, yet that became her tagline. Like it was some signature. Like, what are you doing,
Mm-hmm.
Emily?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad sign, too. I just want to say that she relies on her kids this season for her kids and her
Yeah.
marriage. Her story was not with the group. Her
Yeah.
story was filler and transitional scenes about her life
Mm-hmm.
away from the women. That's not great.
Yeah. I will say though, it was interesting though that sorry, we are skipping let's talk about that real quick and then we can like just be done with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That was me, be done with that.
Tamra.
But yeah. But I do think
Well,
it is interesting though that apparently bringing that stuff up on the show helped get her son a correct diagnosis though.
yeah.
You and I, neither one of us are parents, but apparently he has this thing called pandas, which is some type of like it's a strep infection that gets your brain, and apparently kids who are more on the spectrum can get this, but that's why it was. And then she says he was in the gifted program and then he basically like regressed so hard. I was like, so that now explains like why he couldn't read. And these are things that I'm just kind of like, was this taken out of editing? Was this not just explained? Did she and Shay not explain this very well on camera? Because I feel like these are some really important things. It was never explicitly at least talked about during the season that Luke had been a gifted child until recently. And now something has happened and he's gone backwards. That really wasn't explicitly said during this. So I feel bad for like all like we didn't really talk about it too much because we're like we're
Yeah.
parents. We're not gonna wade into this thing. But I just feel but they got a lot of backlash for that stuff. But now it seems to be understandable. So we're putting these pieces together. So I was like, did y'all not talk about it properly or was it edited out? And I feel like if it was edited out, that would have been something that I do think would have behooved them. And I know it creates more drama, but I do just think like out of a little bit of kindness, from the editors and directors and producers that would have been nicer to like put in there. But I do think it's very interesting that she was able to get a better diagnosis for her son because of that.
That happened with an random, but it happened with another or an Orange County, a reality star in Orange County, Tarek Al Musa from like
Oh.
HGTV, and they're based in Orange County. They're friends with Dubros and all that stuff. Anyways, he had some kind of like cancer or something. I don't remember all the details, but basically a nurse was watching HGTV at home and like DM'd him something. It's like you could probably find it in People or Us Weekly a few years ago, and was like, I noticed something, like you need to have this checked. There's like some kind of thing. It saved his life.
Damn.
She was like,
that happened on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like one of them, she had a thyroid issue, and a bunch of nurses like DM'd her and was like, you need to have your thyroid checked. And actually, I think she had thyroid cancer. Don't quote me on that. She has a thyroid issue. So anyway, it turns out it was right. Like they could see it in her neck, and a bunch of nurses. And so she actually went and got it checked out, and it was true. So yeah. You know, people are crazy, but also people are right. Shout out to the nurses, you know?
Yeah.
Bravo's
heroes, really.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Except for Anne Marie Wiley, but that's for another.
For the nurse. Anyway, even nurse anesthetists were against her at that time. Okay, let's go back to Katie's package because let's talk about the lie detector test. Emily denies that it was a setup. And she does talk about how production found the lie detector people, which I agree with. Production has to find the right people, and there are only certain. That John guy, he's been, as we said, he's been on so many shows before that we have seen. He's willing to do this, but I do think, like, I feel like also though Emily was kind of trying to gloss over the fact that like these aren't very accurate, but we were trying to make a big point of like trying to show that she was a liar. You know, I was like,
she was too gleeful.
Yeah.
For a lawyer, no, she was willing to believe these things that she could never bring to court, that she could know. So if it wasn't a setup, it certainly went her way exactly how she wanted.
Yeah. Another conversation happens that people are not going to win. Gina brings up to Katie about the Asian designer comment, and the way Gina was like doing, I was like, Gina, this is something that you are not going to win. It is you're going to lose. Because also Gina was like, I felt like trying to make it about her. Like, I am horrified. Like, no. You just apologize. You just apologize. Like, and you learn from it. And that's it. Like, whatever justification is going on in your head, leave it in your head. Leave it in your head. Don't try to because it still to me came off not great. I was like, you're not gonna win this.
And one thing, I didn't remember the exact wording, but Katie actually softened it for her a little and said, I never actually called you racist. Because I maybe Gina was like super on the defense because she heard it as racist, but I don't know. I felt like progress was made between them. They kind of like met in the middle. Not that Katie needed to meet her in the middle, but it felt like they were willing to bridge that and move on.
I do feel like it's more that Katie had to meet her more. Do you know what I mean? That's just, she just had to like, anyway, I think we skipped down to Gretchen arrives.
Yes. Gretchen returns
in her Jean Benet Elsa.
Was that
outfit.
from us? Again.
That's what I wondered. Because Tamra said it first and then Andy said it, but you put up the John Benet Rossi thing first. Like, that has got to be That has
These
got to be
people
from
have all
us.
seen it. That thing went
Yes.
viral. I mean,
Yeah.
they absolutely have seen it. So I was wondering if that was a reference, but
I think it is. See,
all
PCP's in the
of them
zeitgeist. We are.
can't escape.
So you gotta follow
No.
us. You gotta keep watching us, because make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
We'll
Everywhere.
find you if you want. No, I'm joking.
I
was-
will find you.
Yeah, I was trying to do the Wedding Crasher. It's because we'll find you.
Okay. When they ask like what Slade does, and it's like he's a consultant. Okay, vague. I mean, he's not working for McKinsey or Boston Consulting Group. I know that, or else he wouldn't be home as much. But I was like, then she throws out, he sits on the Liberace Foundation board, which people have looked up, and apparently his name is on there. But I was like, but does that pay?
No, it's on
Exactly.
the website. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it's a volunteer. It's a random title.
People are on tons of boards for like
Mhm.
foundations. Being on board for a foundation is completely different than being on like the board of like Meta or like Alphabet, or like I don't know, Apple. Like being on the board of a foundation is different than being on the board of directors at a company.
Yeah.
The board of directors at a company is bank, but depends on the company, but yeah, like making money than that. I was like, what you're just throwing that out. That's a red herring to throw out at people.
And it's a twofer, because one, of course, is to pretend like he does something, and the other thing too is to soften the image because of the homophobic accusations coming around. And Liberace was a very flamboyant, very famously, So
Yep. Well,
so I do think that also was, I caught that one as well. I was like, yeah, she's really trying to make, he's a philanthropist. I don't trust anyone who describes themselves, by the way, as like a philanthropist. It's like a billionaire doesn't introduce themselves as a billionaire. A philanthropist doesn't. Nice to meet you. I'm a tycoon. Like they don't talk that way. It's for others to describe you as. So I don't know.
Yep. What was it?
Speaking of Slade and his jobs or lack of, did you catch Gretchen? Completely, like, she's still, first she apologizes to Tamra, saying, I'm sorry if it sounded like I blamed you for Slade not having a job. And then roll the footage. She absolutely explicitly said that directly. There was no
Yeah.
And then
there's no gray area there. You completely blamed her.
Yeah. And then I love Tamra's clapback. Did like going to jail to getting arrested prevent him from getting jobs? And Gretchen's just like,
no.
Yeah.
So straight faced. Like, no, like, again, this girl doubles down on shit. Like, she is going to live, she's going to live her truth. Not the truth, but her truth. And that's it. No, getting arrested, Slade getting arrested has nothing to do with him. It all has to do with a 5-foot blonde asshole on a television show. That's it. That's it. That's it. No, a police record. No, that doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just the words that fly out of an angry woman's mouth. No. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway. But also when they're kind of like talking about they're not being married and like the money and stuff like that, and like, and Heather's kind of defending, like, look, we were talking about this because you years ago said that you didn't want to get married to him because of financial stuff, because he needed to pay off these things, but then you get engaged on camera, like then you decide to like have this big engagement to him. We were just confused. And I did find it interesting that, and Tamra sounded actually very sincere here, and to like compliment what Heather was saying, is like, nobody like thinks that your relationship is fake. which I agree. I don't think their relationship was fake either. I mean, I thought it was weird at the beginning too, but they're in it. They have a child together. This
They
isn't a fake
lasted
relationship.
a long
Well,
time
then
off
a
camera.
lot of housewives. Yeah, exactly. So their relationship is real. But I did find it interesting that Gretchen like justified getting engaged on her last season on camera. She was like, because she wanted to show Slade how much she loved him, because his son had just been in the hospital and was told that he was going to die. It was like, wait a minute. The way that you show a man how much you love him is to do a grand gesture just about the two of you, when really it should be about his son. Like, you're not like paying for flights to like go see his son. You're not doing that. You're not saying, I'll take care of this and this and this. It's like, no. Let's have an epic engagement on camera together. I did enjoy how Andy like said, he was kind of like for the win when he said that he thought that she wanted to get married on camera and have Bravo pay for it.
Right. Because I don't know who paid for that helicopter charter, because remember that her proposal to Slade involved like a helicopter on top of a roof, all this stuff, assuming it was paid for. That could have gone a long way toward the back child support for Grayson.
Yep. And for his medical bills.
Yeah. So another one, like you were talking about how certain people bring up topics that they're not going to win. I was like, the restraint of Tamra to not dive into when she brought up that rest in peace, that his late son. I was like, but then that would have been a like 7-part reunion going in circles and nothing. But I was like, Gretchen, do you hear yourself? This is why that topic is the root of every 12-year-old article that you're still bringing up to this day. So Tamra, our sweet, gracious, let that slide. Maybe Tamra was like, okay,
Look, I mean, because in my opinion, she was able to dig her own grave kind of in that one, like, or at least dig 1 foot of the 6 feet in there. Because another foot that she dug was when she said that she's getting ready to get married whenever. We'll get married whenever, but we also like did it with a pastor a few years ago. I mean, it's not legal or anything, but in the eyes of God, whatever. What if it was okay? I'm sorry. If it was okay just to get married in the eyes of God with a pastor at any time, then we wouldn't be having these fights for marriage in the Supreme Court. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't hold water. You don't hold water.
And she could have, since it was just like a pastor kind of thing, it was like she said, we didn't go down to the courthouse. Could have like done that before your child was born out of wedlock, which I'm not judging. I'm just saying, based on her values and the image she projects, that would be something she would judge. So
yeah. Look, I'm here to call out
cute,
her.
Though, I have to say,
she's very cute. She's very much a Slade and Gretchen hybrid. Like, she really looks like both of them.
It was funny in the I think it was one of the last episodes. Oh yeah, they're in Amsterdam, and she's FaceTiming with her daughter, and she's like, "Oh, you have that voluminous Gretchen hair." It's true though.
I do.
Complimentary. Yeah.
I'm actually going to hold my tongue is what I think. Anyway. What was it? Oh, they talk about how Gretchen brought up the quote unquote affair, Tamra's affair, which is all fake, and Gretchen says that wasn't premeditated. And I'm sorry, I just rolled my eyes so hard. I was like, no, you knew you were going to bring this stuff up. Like, you just, I don't think it was necessarily maybe something that she knew right at that moment, but she knew she was going to bring it up over that weekend. Her and Slade planned that. Her and Slade were like, oh, this is the time to like drop this.
Gretchen actually tried to convince us when her package segment started, that she didn't come back trying to take Tamra down. That she was not looking for a fight with Tamra. She just brought 12 to 15 years worth of archives.
You know what just is playing through my head is that gif of Kyle Richards from season 1. You're such a fucking liar, Camille. Oh my gosh. You're such a fucking liar, Gretchen.
From that same season, let's just swap out the Camille. Gretchen has a Jesus complex, quite literally. Quite literally.
Yep. I mean, this is the thing. Like, I feel personally that both Gretchen and Tamra have been looking for any excuse, any reason to break a truce. Like, anytime they try to make up, it is literally any little thing that the other person does, or that like something like, it's like they're like a scaredy cat. Like, and you know, like when you've got like a new cat and like, or something like any little thing touches you, you're like, I think that's like them when it comes to each other. It's just any effing excuse, because they both bring up old stuff. They both are doing, and and Tamara actually, proved Andy's point over and over again about the whole like why would you like that she keeps bringing up stuff from the past, bringing up again the whole like Shannon filming Vicky thing. Like, she brought that up, and they're like, you keep proving the point. Look at me doing Shannon hands right now. Like, she keeps bringing up the point. She keeps bringing this stuff up, and bringing up Jen's affairs during the cake party, but also at that same party showing pictures of Gretchen and that ex guy or whatever. It just, they both do it. They do it in different ways. They have different tactics, but they both do the same thing. And they do it to each other right now, but they also can do it to other people too. It's just that right now, like, it's the two of them, or it's Tamra to Shannon.
Yeah.
Gretchen doesn't necessarily have another target, although Katie's kind of one inadvertently in a way.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Gretchen stayed on, if she was back next season, let's say Tamara was gone and Gretchen was on next season, she'd come for Heather about stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, she would come for people about old things. Like, her and Slade would like dig up shit.
When you think about it, for a full-time housewife this year, who we haven't seen technically on camera for like 12 years, we actually didn't see with Emily, whose whole family life was her story this time, away from the women. It was too much. With Gretchen, who we're supposed to be catching up with after like 12 years, they didn't show much of their private life or personal life. I don't even know I don't need to know her license plate, but you like to see what kind of fancy car they drive, things like that. It was very like,
what kind of work do you guys do? Like, she does digital marketing and is an influencer. Gretchen 20, it's like, you don't know. And I'm sure they filmed other stuff. I'm sure they did. Slade also had a bad hair dye job to cover his grays. Did you notice that? It actually, his hair almost turned out like kind of my color. I was like, at the like end, I was like, that looks bad. That's a bad dye job. Just go gray. But we don't know necessarily what all she's been doing besides like living in sin and having children out of wedlock. I know that comes off very bad. Only reason I'm saying that is because of the way that she lives her life.
Yeah.
Just the hypocrisy, the Christian hypocrisy that comes out of her. Like, look, I'm
waiting to find out. We need to like get drunk at some bar or something in Costa Mesa. That's where they live. Because what I really want to find out is that we're going to basically get Slade as our Uber driver one night.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
I just thought about them. Like, what does he do?
DoorDash.
Yeah, we should just, we're gonna find out.
Oh my gosh. Well, this entire episode ends on the two of them, well, Tamra and Gretchen, yelling back and forth at each other you're a fucking liar. No, you're a fucking liar. You're a piece of shit. No, you're a piece of shit. I mean, they both saying the same thing back and forth to each other. I just was like, stop. Like,
I think for Andy's sake, they didn't. First of all, I don't think Gretchen necessarily deserves first chair, but I'm saying at least for this segment, I think he physically, he could not have. Remember Teresa shoving him at the reunion?
That's exactly what I was thinking. It would be like,
yeah, he's not going to physically be the only thing between Tamra and Gretchen.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not that young anymore. He's like, I'm a lot older now. And I've got 2 kids relying on me. I can't get in between 2 women fighting. No. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, like in some ways, I'm surprised to put Tamra that close to him because Tamra's the one that's more likely to get up and do something physical, like as we saw from the the self-defense episodes.
Oh yeah, I mean she's a sharpshooter.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean she got up into Gretchen's face too, so yeah. Anyway, we got another episode.
Yeah, we still have 2 more to go. 2 more. When did they episodes. Yeah, this one so far. I noticed one thing about Heather is that I think she's trying to play up her humorous side, just an easygoing, chuckling at things. Because obviously there were questions about how funny she is. She's just light, easygoing, chuckling at both sides. You know, she was trying to be everyone's friend. And I'm like,
well, did you notice? Just like at least. I mean, but who knows? Sometimes when earlier when you said, did you notice Tamra giving like, Katie these like eyes and stuff like that? I mean, I'm assuming that's what they want us to think that they are, but there's editing there too. Mm-hmm. So, that's what I'm assuming. But there was a moment where there had been some interaction between Tamra and Shannon, and they cut to Heather making eyes at Shannon, being kind of like, oh my God. Which I was like, I wonder if that's in the moment or not, because also though, at the same time, like, I'm not saying that they're necessarily doing these edits to fool us, to fool the audience. Sometimes it's more just impactful, or something else did happen around that time. And it's like, well, let's add this in because this will like these, because maybe Shannon and Heather did have a lot of eye looks across it from each other. So this would, even though this didn't happen at this moment, this is appropriate for the relationship they were having. Same thing with Katie and Tamra. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's not all what we would call like Franken bites or Franken looks for, necessarily. Sometimes they're not at the same time period, but they are within the same context.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's why when a lot of people are like, it's fake, I'm like, what's your definition of fake? Because I don't think you don't want to see the hours and hours of footage that they filmed of all of these women.
Yeah, that's like a 12-hour day. So
I mean, I was in something because Squid Game, the challenge, season 2 just started airing this past week, and we are still casting for it, at least. So if you want in, squidgamecasting.com, apply. We still got a couple more weeks of casting for season 3. Anyway, but I saw somebody and they were like, this is all fake, da, da, da. And then they went through, they were like talking about like different time periods of like when things change. And I go, yeah, dipshit, it's called editing. Like, what are you talking about? Like it's a game show. They have to play these games. They have to play these games. I was like, but it's called editing right now. Like this editing does not impact the outcome of the game. I was like,
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, that's my soapbox, but time to get off of it.
I'm trying. Let's do a film. How can I spin this? You know how you could help us with our game? In the Squid Game of podcasts and entertainment. Ooh. Just click subscribe. That's all you have to do.
Please. hit subscribe.
We are only
tell your friends.
we are only a dozen subscribers away from sharing a seat on the board of the Liberace Foundation. So
Yes. Each like we only get one chair, but hopefully we will be thin enough that we can each put a butt cheek on that chair. Yeah, exactly.
So on that note, make sure to follow, make sure to subscribe, and adios.